What's up, YouTube? It's Jeremiah, and today I have a message for you guys. I wanted to share how God freed me from gym idolatry, right? I was idolizing the gym in my life, truth be told. So I'm here to tell you. So look, what makes an idol? What is an idol? So when we think of an idol, it's usually this, right? In the Bible, people would carve images of false gods, pagan deities, and worship them as if they were God. That's true, but idolization is not always that, right? So look, the definition of idolatry, according to Webster, is the worship of idols or excessive devotion to or reverence for some person or thing. An idol is anything that replaces the one true God, right? So that can be anything. It's not just the false gods and the pagan deities. It can be anything. I can idolize my job. I can idolize money. I can idolize girlfriends, women's or wives, or I can idolize celebrities, as is very prominent in this day and age. There's a lot of idolatry going on, and it breaks the Lord's heart. So here's the thing. I devoted more of my life to the gym, to my appearance, to my physique, to my bodybuilding, more than God. And that is a no-no. God is supposed to be first in our lives, the main priority in our lives. So I will clarify, the gym is not bad because God created the gym, right? 1 Corinthians 6:20 says, "For you were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body." 1 Timothy 4:8, "For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come." So that was my first point. The gym became an idol for me, right? Point number 2, my confidence was rooted in my appearance, right? So if I backtrack, when I started working out, right? Growing up, I've always been kind of skinny. I played basketball. I didn't really have meat on my bones, right? So I discovered working out and physical exercise, bodybuilding, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. And it started out harmless, I'll tell you that. I started out with a good heart, but over time, I was allowing this thing to become prominent in my life. My identity was rooted in how I looked. I thought myself as much more valuable because I'm bigger, because I'm getting compliments of my physical appearance. And that's when it became dangerous, because I became enslaved to my appearance. I became a slave to vanity. I became a slave to how I looked. How was I enslaved? Because I'll tell you this, if I had a good day at the gym, or if my physique was on point, I'm up. I'm good. I'm chilling. Everything's good. If I just hit a new max, bro, I'm good. Life is good. But if I didn't, if my physique wasn't how I wanted it, if I was comparing it to the big bodybuilders and social media influencers I'd see, I would never be satisfied at all, right? If that wasn't how I wanted it, how I pictured it, I'd just be sad. I'd be upset. I'm like, bro. And it caused me to go in more and more and more and more and more until I was satisfied. And the truth is, you're never going to be satisfied. The most rich people in the world, they want more money, right? I used to do TikTok. When I hit 1 million followers at 17 years old, I wanted more. I wanted 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. When I got big, I wanted to be bigger. I was a slave to that. But I'll tell you what, though I was a slave to it, Jesus Christ came to set the captives free, right? Jeremiah 17:7 says, "Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord and whose confidence is in him." And I'm going to get to that. After I finish these points, I'm going to tell you just how the Lord set me free and how I'm free. My identity is not wrapped up in my appearance, my career, anything, not even bodybuilding, right? So the next point is I developed pride, right? And the truth is, God, he despises pride. Right, so Proverbs 16:5 says, "Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished." Proverbs 6:17 says, "A proud look / haughty eyes is an abomination to the Lord." An abomination is something the Lord hates. And I'm here to tell you, pride is not always loud. It's not always, look at me, I'm a Greek god with my physique. Pride can be silent, and that's how it was for me. I'm going to give you guys a story time. So one time I was in the gym. I had just finished my workout. I finished class. I was in my white little wife beater, right? I was looking swole. I was pumped up on creatine and 4 meals a day. And I walked past this one guy. I'm leaving. He's walking into the gym. As I walked past him, something in my head was like, he's beneath you. I tell you the truth, I remember this, and this is before I gave my life fully to Christ. He is beneath you. That's a thought that came passing through. I don't know if it was a voice or whatever. He is beneath you. And I caught it as I walked out, and I'm like, did I just think that, or like, am I tripping? Right? And I even talked to the Lord, like, Lord, I repent. I don't mean that. Help me to be humble. This is before I gave my life to Christ, before I knew that there is spirits of pride that was trying to have a hold on me. So like I said, pride is not always loud and vocal. God sees it in the heart, right? 1 Samuel 16:7 says, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart, right? And one thing that also influenced all this, right, was I got tied up in gym culture. So on social media, right, if you've been on TikTok, YouTube, and you're just getting into bodybuilding, gym culture has kind of fallen under the sector of like this red pill alpha male stuff, right, to where it's unhealthy. Form your own identity, be your own God, become a Greek god today. You're him. You're not him. Jesus is really him. He was the only one who was him. And this stuff that I was consuming, it would motivate me. Yeah, they'd have that, but it was unhealthy. This stuff I was consuming and identifying myself with, it was in the opposite of humility, the opposite of meekness, right? So James 4:6-7 says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble, right? So fast forward a couple months, I ended up giving my life to Christ. And one of the things was I had to lay a lot of the things down. I had to lay down what my identity was wrapped up in. And my identity, truthfully, one of them was the gym. When I think of myself, when I thought of myself, oh, I go to the gym. What's one thing to describe you? Gym bro, bodybuilding, get big, get swole. That's how it was. But I had to lay that down. And when I truly put God in the forefront of my heart and my life, he actually changed my appetite like that. He took away the need to be in the gym, because I had a need to meet my goals, to meet my fitness goals, to meet the next man, to become big. He actually took it away and let me know this stuff does not follow me, right? Nothing in this world, not even this body, follows us, because from dust we came and from dust we come back to, from dust we return. And truth be told, he took away my obsession with physical exercise and he moved it to spiritual exercise, getting in the word, getting in his presence. He took the desires out of my heart and implanted his desires into my heart, which was reading the word, which is spending time in his presence, which was worshiping, which was doing the work of the Lord. That's what he changed my heart and put it into his. Here's a verse for that. Psalm 37:4 says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart, right? So this is how I knew God was working in me. Something that I was so obsessed with, tied up in, I couldn't go a day without. I was a slave to. He changed my heart and put a new desire in. Not just for physical exercise, but for spiritual exercise, right? And I'll give you the verse for this. I'm going to go back to 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, so it profiteth some. It's good for your body, it's good for here. But godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come. So now he put the desire in me to train up my spirit to be buff, right? To get in the word, to get in his presence, to get buff in the spirit. And here's the thing, I'll still exercise, but it's not an idol. I'll do it to glorify God in my body, to stay healthy, to stay fit. It's a blessing from the Lord to even be able to have exercise, right? To have a gym, to have a sound body, to even be able to run, to even be able to lift, to be able to jump, right? But now, most importantly, my priority is spiritual exercise, right? So if I had to leave you with one thing today, don't be a unit for man. Don't be a unit for women. Be a unit for the Lord. Be a unit for the kingdom. Amen.